Hey, so a couple weeks back I did a video on Primus Vita, which is a story game, a sci-fi story game that didn't have any character animations. They tried to hide that fact by making the whole thing happen in a dream sequence, and by doing an awful lot of telling and self-narrating rather than showing. At the end, I noted that you can embrace your lack of a specific technical thing. You can embrace a game that has no character animations, as long as you put your lack of character animations into the game as a stylized element. So this is Heaven's Vault. You might be wondering why I wanted to talk about that and then Heaven's Vault. Heaven's Vault is a 3D game with unanimated 2D sprite characters. The closest thing it has to an animation is this walk cycle, which isn't really what I would consider, an animation in regards to, what you'd normally think of as a full animated system. This is a wonderful example of how you can have two completely different styles. You can have a style that actually is missing a core part of what would normally be required, and you can still end up with a solution that works well. Very few people are complaining that this game isn't properly animated because they quickly get used to the stylized feel of it. Similarly, they spent a lot of effort making the characters talk to each other. Rather than just telling what people think and what people are doing, you're allowed to interact, you're allowed to talk to each other and have opinions, and I think it works really well. This is a game that sells itself. This is a game that I get into. I understand what's going on. I am beginning to really like the main character, and I even like this stupid little robot. So I think that this is a really great example of how to take a technical constraint like no animations and work with it. Because that no animations, well, you know what they did instead? They have these really, really beautifully rendered and super convincing sprites that look great. And that's a wonderful thing to do. You wouldn't be able to animate a sprite like this very easily, but if you say, well, we can't animate anything, we're just going to accept that, then you can draw these wonderful, real, textured sprites, and that really adds to the game. It's a trade-off. If you can't do animation, maybe you can do something else. You can embrace it. You can become stylized. You can put some thought into how you present your games, into how you present the characters, into how you make the players fall in love with your characters. Anyway, short but sweet. I think that's it. Heaven's Vault has pretty good reviews. I've only played this much of it, but so far I like it. So, if you like this kind of game, give it a whirl. It's certainly more interesting than Primus Vita.